The economic crunch in Nigeria has been a source of worry to many, and stakeholders say if not swiftly addressed, may result into national crisis. One of the worst hit sectors is the travel industry, and it is only a matter of time that other major sectors will feel the same. President of National Association of Nigeria Travel Agency, that's Susan Akporiaye, joins us now to discuss the impact of Nigerian economic crisis on the travel sector, which has lost over $500 million, with thousands of jobs affected. She will assess the sector and why Nigerians should be paying over $2,000 for an economy seat for a 6-hour trip. Welcome to Newsday.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for being here as well. Now, one of the concerns that you raised, especially since we're in election season, is that from your observation, none of the political parties has deemed it necessary to look at aviation economics. I'm wondering if you could elaborate on this further.
Oh, thank you very much. This is actually very interesting to me because it's been a concern, and that has made me to follow each and every of these presidential aspirants to see which one will be nice enough to talk about my industry.
Go on.
Okay. So as I said initially, the aviation industry is an industry that cannot be overlooked or ignored. Is major because the aviation industry is how people move in and out of anywhere, and it's a major contribution to the GDP of Nigeria. In my press conference that we had on Friday, we said that the aviation industry, which is travel agency, contribute 3.6% of the Nigerian GDP, which brings to about $16 billion. So that is a sector that cannot be ignored. And since COVID-19, this aviation sector has suffered and is still suffering. So this issue of trap funds is plunging us into another bigger crisis that's with least imagined. So I don't expect any presidential aspirant at this point to ignore the industry. Like I said in my press conference, it's not about I can only speak for my industry because this is what puts food on my table. And not just me, we're talking about 2.4 million Nigerians that have been employed in this industry. That's what feeds their family. We created a niche for ourselves in this industry. The government never created it for us. And now the industry is suffering and everywhere is quiet. And that is totally unacceptable, and it's actually very disappointing to all the presidential candidates coming in that an industry as important as this, none of them mentioned it in their campaign, in their agenda or anything. And that has been the case for like over 40 years. And that's why the industry, for any crisis that happens, we feel it more. Almost as if they are not ready for the industry. Then when problem happens is when they are trying to put their heads together and see what they come up with. But it's an industry that shouldn't be ignored. And that is why I said I am highly disappointed. I expected that this industry should have been, especially with this trap fund issue ongoing and the COVID that we just came out from, which already is resurfacing in some other places. I expected it should have been on the top burner for anybody that wants to come in as the president of this country, or from the governorship level or whatever level. This industry should be on their top burner.
Right. Now, of course, we know that at the foundation of this, as you very rightfully said earlier, the issue here, of course, are the trapped funds. Now, we saw the CBN releasing the first tranche of payments to airlines. Second tranche was supposed to have happened at the end of 2022, but not much happened. But what happened in between there was tangible. We did see that airlines reduced their fares, cheaper fares were now available, and there was relief for the industry. What are some of the measures that you're taking as an association to put pressure on the CBN? And what's the status? What is the CBN saying regarding, it can't just be tranches of money being released. How can airlines be consistently able to repatriate their hard-earned profits?
Yeah, that is actually this trap fund crisis that we're experiencing. Interestingly, from history, this is the third time it's happening in 3 decades. Almost as if when there's a change of power, we have this crisis on and on. And if you ask me, it's just simple. You know, Nigeria is a mono economy. And that's another assignment for all the presidential candidates say. How do they take Nigeria out of being a mono product economy to a multifaceted product economy? If not, I'm sorry to say, as sad enough, we are going to be back here maybe in another 8 to 10 years again. But as long as we remain as a monoproduct economy, we'll always have issues with forex crisis. Nigerians, we do not print dollar. Our currency is in naira. But we all know international trading is done in dollars. And what avenue do we have as a country? I mean, where we make dollars, where trade has been done, is by what we sell. And for us, it's only the crude. And we all know a lot of countries are looking for alternatives to crude. Electric cars, cars driven by water, all sorts of alternatives. So the Nigerian crude, we used to top the list in terms of demand, is no longer on the top list for demand. So there's not much demand for us to sell our crude and earn in foreign currency. That's the only way we earn in foreign currency. Agriculture doesn't give us as much. We still import everything. Everything is done, we import. But interestingly, I will give this a hint to all the presidential candidates. This industry is another industry that helps us to earn in foreign currency. When people come in, they come in with this dollar. When people come in to do tourism, they come in with the dollar. So that's another avenue for the government to really earn. But they have never paid attention to travel tourism industry. There's a gold mine in this industry, and we've been saying it, and there's no government that has ever paid attention to us. And this is happening, like say, in every bad situation, we should look for an opportunity. So this trap funds happening at this time where a new government is planning to take over, God willing, by May. There's no better time for us to put it out there, to let them know, look, there's a gold mine here. If you do not know, we are available to let them know. Windows of opportunity for us to earn in foreign currency. If we increase the product that we earn in foreign currency, we will never find ourselves in this crisis. What is the crisis all about? Shortage of forex. Simple. That means the country is spending in foreign currency more than they are earning. That's why we are here. Like I said in my press conference, the government will not deliberately refuse to allow the airlines to repatriate their funds. It can never be a deliberate act because it's part of the BASA agreement. So if they're having this issue, it's because there is a crisis. There is a major crisis where they don't have enough of these funds for the airline to repatriate, and it has to go round every other sector. Now, a lasting solution is to take Nigeria out of a mono economy product to a multiple economy product. Let's have more things that bring us foreign exchange. Number one, aviation, travel, tourism is a gold mine for foreign income to come in.
Thank you, Susan. Your passion really, shines through during this interview. But now back to everyday Nigerians. You've explained what the issues are, trap funds, and a whole lot of other matters. Why should Nigerians pay $2,000 for an economy seat for a flight that lasts 6 hours? We understand that some have sought alternatives. Some choose to go by road in some cases, to other neighboring countries where they get flights at a cheaper rate. And of course, this impact has been felt because 720,000 employees in your sector they've basically lost their jobs. So can you sell this idea to us why we should still make these payments?
Oh, yes, the payment still has to be made, sadly, because it's their money, it's their funds, and they are foreign companies. They are not Nigerian companies. And also, it's part of the BASA agreement. For any foreign airline that operates in any country, they must be able to repatriate their funds back to their home country. That one is basic, and the government will still have to pay. But our concern is the fact that the fares that the airlines are selling is increasing these trap funds the more. It's not helping matters. It's not helping the situation. Like you earlier said, when the government released that tranche that they released, quite a number of them brought in some lower fares for a time, and they took it back. Right now, it's actually very, very bad as we speak. For me, at the time where they dropped some lower fares, we made some sales that period. Now, the lower fares are no longer there, and we have to make changes for whatever reason. I mean, somebody just called me today, wanted to make change, and I'm saying 1.2 million for him to make a change, just because the lower inventory that was issued for the person is no longer available, and the airlines are not willing to assist in even trying to help us.
Right.
I mean, make passengers to change their tickets.
Yes.
So that is the problem right now, and that's why the situation is actually worse.
All right,
because when they dropped
Susan
their fares, we issued it.
Yes. Yeah, we fully understand this. I hope we will get another opportunity to delve deeper into this as it is a burning topic. We do know that Nigerians love to travel. Thank you so much for your time today, and have a lovely day further.